real talk, what is really stopping you from standing up for yourself in the face of your parents? So I just want to dive into this area a little bit, right? Because um, a lot of times um, we may be scared to stand up to our parents, especially when they're actually judging us or forcing us to do something that we don't want to, and yet it seems so hard to stand up to them. So let's talk about these things. So I've actually created 4 videos in terms of um, the areas to become independent in. So, for example, financial situation, or like your physical independence, or like the psychological independence, or the emotional independence. And so, let's break it down a little bit more in terms of what they are about. So, when I was in like when I was growing up, my mom was always very much caring in terms of she took care of everything for me from the get-go, like cooking meals for me, cleaning for me, doing the laundries for me, and I was like a pampered princess. So when it was time for me to stand up for myself because she didn't approve of my choice in my relationship, I was actually looking to leave and move out. And yet, a part of me didn't want to do that because of my own upbringing, like financial, like even though I was financially independent, it was still a chunk of money that I have to pay down for the rent. And you know what? Living at home is quite comfortable. And so I was looking at different places, and the places I was looking at, some of them are apartments or they were sharing laundry, and I was like, that grossed me out. Not like no offense to people who are using like share laundry, but like part of me, I'm germophobic in a way, and then that kind of grossed me out. And so these are things that I have to be very blunt with myself in terms of, you know what, like I want to move out because I couldn't stand my mom at the moment. And yeah, like these are things that I have to um, be real with myself, right? Like how much am I willing to pay to get out, and versus is it better to suck it up and deal with her screaming at me, and would that be better, right? So it's always like a balance comparing the two. And so for a lot of people, like I would come across posts in Reddit, and they're like, what should I do? And people first one thing would say, well, you should move out and you should become independent. And I get it. And I get it. Like these are things that I would say to people too. And yet at the same time, am also very mindful of how, where they are in their situation. Because you know what? Sometimes moving out is not really the best solution, because there are a lot of nitty gritty things that comes down to it, like are you financially independent, like have you been working enough that you have saved a chunk of money, because it does add up, right? Like so that comes with the financial independence. And so are you like, also when are you physically independent, like can you actually fight your mom or your dad if let's say they physically hurt you? Can you train yourself to defend yourself if let's say they physically pick up something and hit you or hurt you or strangle you, like, right? So these are things to be very mindful of when it comes to deciding on what you want to do. And I know that there's a lot of consideration, and at the same time, list them all out, because when we're just scared and don't want to look at it, we will never know what exactly we're up against, because our mind will always make something bigger than what they are. So if you're really concerned about something, give yourself some time to list them out. Why is it that I cannot seem to stand up for myself right now? Why can I not move out right now? Sit down, give yourself 10 minutes, 15 minutes to just write down why. But not to use these as a true excuse of stopping you from moving forward. So these are just things that your mind is giving you, and yet at the same time, can you come up with like something that can counter those the list counter the list, right? So for example, if let's say, okay, I don't have enough money right now, how do am I going to make enough money to get myself into a relatively financial independent state? And what does that mean? What number am I aiming for? Be very clear of what where you want to go, so that you can set yourself a goal. Maybe it is not an immediate goal. It may be a 1 year goal, 3 year goal. And I know, and at the same time, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't stand my parents for like like a year more or 3 years more. Like it is hard, and yet these are the things that we want to come across, to list out, so that we can come face to face with them. And then the other thing is learn strategies to calm yourself down. And I have a video called Three Techniques to Reduce Stress and Anxiety. That is an extremely great resource for people to help them calm themselves down. And especially the faster EFT, use that. Use that to calm yourself down, especially for when you cannot leave your house right now. Use that strategy to calm yourself down. Know that you can bring yourself back to calm. You don't need your parents to change to make you calm down, and you can calm down your anxiety so that you can start thinking logically in your situation, how best to deal with your situation. And this this is how um, this is how I would go about doing it with my clients, because the first thing is to calm your nervous system down, and then attack the list um, in a logical way. When you're anxious and when you're frazzled, your logical mind will not work. So calm down, make a plan. And this is so important in terms of how do you deal with situations where it seems like you just can't seem to be able to stand up to your parents. And I just wanted to share this with you because I know how difficult sometimes it can be, especially when you're stuck in a situation that you cannot get out of right away in the moment. And it seems like all things are lost. It's so hard. And I get it. It seems to be very difficult. And yet you can do it. If you need to find other people to just let your feelings out, let your frustration out in terms of talking it through, have a safe space to talk it through. Find those people, um, and at the same time, take on responsibility for yourself to know that you are the person who can get yourself out of it. Because you know what, you have been doing a lot of things that you had overcome already. So this is just the next thing that we get to overcome, and it is not the end of the world. I know it can be feel depressing right now, and yet at the same time, I know you're strong enough to get over this. And if you need any more help or resources, I have a post called Free Resource Post. Go there and check out whatever I have on there, or you can send me a message so that we can chat about it. We can work through this together. Okay, that's all I have for today. Until next time.